Well, it's always an honor and a humble pleasure to be in the house of one of the pantheons of college football. What Jake Gaither meant to this university, this football program, in the landscape of college football during those times, I don't think will ever be duplicated. And so just to be in the presence of his spirit in the Jake Gaither house is truly an extraordinary honor. Well, obviously the SWAC Championship was something that we planned for since the start of the season. You know, we really look forward to competing in the SWAC. We knew we had a team that was capable of winning the SWAC, but to be able to do so on Ken Riley Field at Brad Memorial Stadium was truly a special feeling. It was monumental and historic for our community, for our school, our fan base, just to be able to host our first SWAC championship here on campus. Again, it's a great feeling and hopefully first of many to come. I think for us, we talk to the team all the time about just the everyday process it takes to be a champion. And when you focus on the things that you can control, your attitude, your mindset, how you come to work every day, the results take care of themselves. And so we've tried really hard within this program to teach these young men to be process-driven, more so than results-driven. And so when we approach it that way, we don't look at the opponent that's coming in to say we're going to play up to the competition or down to the competition. We focus on us, and we say the only team that can beat FAMU is FAMU. And so every week, our greatest competition is us. And if we focus on the little things it takes to be successful, we feel the rest takes care of itself. And fortunately for us, these guys have brought into that philosophy, and it's led us to this point. Well, the mindset for the Celebration Bowl is the same mindset that we've taken all season, and that's to prepare ourselves to be our very best when it's time to perform. Obviously, you know, we're sitting in Jake Gaither's house, but another legendary coach in FAMU lore is Rudy Hubbard. And we had the pleasure of having Coach Hubbard come talk to the team back in 2018. We were honoring his 1978 national championship team. And the one thing that he said that still resonates with me is we need you guys to do it now. You know, it's not about last week, it's not about next week. We need you to get it done right now. So just that attitude that when it's time to perform, you have to be ready to perform. That's what our guys are focused on. So all of our preparation, our film study, our workouts, everything that we've done has prepared us for when that moment comes to stand in Mercedes-Benz Stadium at 12 o'clock on December 16th, that we're our very best. And that's been the mindset since we knew that we were coming to the game, and we look forward to showing the world what we're made of. Well, the role of a student athlete is to be able to balance all of the things that come along with it. The word student comes first. And so before we do anything in football, it's about taking care of our business in the classroom. We've been committed to doing that since the semester started. We've had our academic days, we've had our days off, to where we really focus on the academic aspect of these young men. And so we understand that the Celebration Bowl comes at the end of the semester. Commencement is literally the day before the Celebration Bowl. And it's a great dilemma or conundrum to be in, to where we're the last team standing and our young men have to focus in. And so you have two historic programs on the field, but you have two more historic programs academically. And both teams have to navigate the academic rigors of being a student at our respective institutions, but also performing at the highest level on the field of competition. And I challenged the young men when we started the season that the conversation in the Celebration Bowl isn't just about how good they are on the field, but how well they perform in the classroom as well. So we look forward again to showing America that these young men are well-rounded, that they can truly be student athletes in every sense of the word. I think the keys to victory in this game in particular are really no different than the keys in most big games. Typically, games like this come down to possession of the ball. And so for us, it's about protecting the ball on offense, making sure that we're not giving it back to them and giving them extra opportunities. So protecting the football, whether it be the running back, the receivers, quarterback, center exchange even. You know, so those little things oftentimes make the difference in games of this nature. For us offensively, I think we have to be able to establish the line of scrimmage. And that means running the football effectively, but also protecting Jeremy. And so our offensive line play will be critical in this game. Defensively, I think it's real simple. You know, we have to stop the run. They pride themselves on being able to run the football. They have two really dynamic running backs. They have a veteran quarterback who's played a lot of snaps for them. And so if we can neutralize their run game, I think it gives us a great chance to be successful. And then in special teams, oftentimes you look at the Celebration Bowl over years past, it's come down to big plays in special teams, big kick returns, punt returns, things of that nature. So we have to win the field position battle. That means playing really solid on special teams. And I think this team has the formula to do all those things. Well, you're right about the fact that Atlanta is full of distractions. I think one thing that benefits this team is the fact that we've been able to play in the Orange Blossom Classic to start the season the last 3 years. They've done a great job of creating a bowl-like environment there, of bringing the teams down early, events outside of the game that the guys have to attend, luncheons, things of that nature. So we're not unfamiliar with what it will look like to be in Atlanta 4 days before the game starts. And so my experience as a college athlete in bowl games and as a coach, our other coaches all have experience in bowl games. So just to give the guys kind of a preview of what the week will look like and what to expect. It is a bowl game, so we want them to enjoy themselves. We want them to have fun. So we'll get there Wednesday. Wednesday will be the latest curfew that they'll have, but once the week starts to get closer to game time, we'll get ourselves back into Friday night game mode, so to speak. So I want the guys to enjoy themselves, but we have to understand that we're their own business. And the fact that we have a veteran team full of older guys, I think they'll continue to police each other and drive the message home that although we're in Chocolate City, we are there to finish this season the way that we talked about it from the very beginning. And that's winning the Celebration Bowl, being the best team in Black college football, and bringing home our first outright HBCU National Championship in over 20 years. I think, for us, it's about the approach to the game, like we talked about. Not speaking on teams past per se, but the SWAC has gone into this game as the favorite the last few years. And so I think the MEAC has something to prove because they were the lower seeded team. They were the team that all the attention was on the SWAC team that was coming to town. This year, I'm not sure if that's the case. I know we have a lot of the attention being the #1 team in Black college football, being ranked 5th in the country. But I think the focus of this team is one to where we know what's at stake and we know what has to be done. And so I don't think you'll go in with either team not locked in. I think both teams will be locked into the game. Both teams will understand what needs to be done. And then it's going to come down to which team can play the best football. But I don't anticipate the outside distractions that typically hinder teams in these type of games. When you talk about bowl games, as you alluded to, there are a lot of distractions. So the team that understands what the main thing is and being able to keep that the main thing gives them the best chance. And this veteran team that we have, I think will continue to drive that message home, and it will give our young men the motivation they need to bring the championship back to the SWAC. I think for us, as far as playing in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, we've had the fortune of playing in 2 NFL stadiums already this season. The season started down in Miami Gardens at Hard Rock Stadium. That's where the Miami Dolphins play, also the Miami Hurricanes. So they've been in that environment. A few weeks later, we traveled down to Raymond James Stadium, where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play. And so we've been able to walk into a venue that many of the guys aspire to play in one day. And in pregame say, I can see myself being here, over the next 10 years with a long NFL career. And so we'll go there Friday to do the walkthrough. We'll let them get all that nostalgic, all the nostalgic feelings out during that time. And then once kickoff starts, it's about what happens between the lines. Regardless of whether it's an NFL stadium, a college stadium, or even a high school stadium, the dimensions are the same, 100 by 53 1/3. And what happens between those white lines will determine the outcome of the game. So let's get all the nostalgic feelings out on Friday when we get to the stadium. But once kickoff starts, let's remember that we've been here before. We've been in NFL stadiums before. We fully anticipated being in this space. And so if you've already mentally prepared yourself for it, hopefully it won't be too big for you in that moment. And I think the maturity of this football team will allow us to go in focus and, like we always say, control what we can control. All we can control is how we focus and lock in on this football game, not who's in the stands, not who may be on the sideline. This is the Celebration Bowl, so I mean, you're liable to look up and see T.I., you know, standing right beside you, or Young Jeezy, or any of the other stars from Atlanta there at the game. And so, you know, I'm excited. I'm excited about the opportunity to be in this environment with such star power here in Atlanta. So I'm just reminding the guys that we're going to enjoy it, but at 12 o'clock, let's dial in and let's go to work, and let's finish this season the way that we aspire to. Continue to make Rattler Nation proud. Continue to be the team of destiny. And again, let's bring the Celebration Bowl home to FAMU and to the SWAC, and let's keep it there for a very long time.